All right, we'll get started off with Chris Bassinet.
Hey Jackson, I asked Coach Bolt this, and I wanted to get a perspective from a player too. What have you seen from the guys that maybe don't play as much, or maybe don't get the opportunities that some of the regulars get? How do you think that they've been able to stay ready this year and be ready to go when their number's called?
A team's only as good as its weakest link, and I think a lot of the guys that haven't been playing this year, haven't been playing well, they recognize that, and they know that their time could be coming, and so they're staying ready when they can. And the way that they're staying ready is they're doing charts, they're warming up the left fielder, they're filling out the board. I mean, this team they're committed to winning, and winning's in the details. And a lot of these guys that aren't playing, they do the little things right, and they'll be ready to go if their number gets called.
Is that different than maybe from what you've seen from past teams you've been on here, or is it similar? I guess how does that stack up?
I think this team is the best team at doing that. But I mean, ever since I've been here, Nebraska's had a pretty good culture. Like, we do a good job of taking care of the little things. It's just this team is better. Like, this team does everything with a little bit more intent, like with a little bit more detail oriented. Like, they're ready to go at all times.
Evan Bland.
Jackson, as one of the couple two-way guys on this team, at this point in the season, is the physical and mental challenge of pitching and fielding and hitting, is that challenge different now that you're halfway through this thing, or is it easier? Is it harder? How does it kind of stack up now that you're in the midst of the season?
Well, it's not the beginning of the season. The body's not feeling great every day like it was opening weekend. But I mean, the mental side, it's the exact same for me. I mean, it's baseball every day. Like, that's what I want to do with my life. That's what I get to do right now. I mean, it doesn't change based on how my body feels. Like, whether I feel 100% or whether I feel 60%, I got to give 100% of what I have that day. So I mean, whether or not my arm feels great or not, I'm not really worried about it.
I want to ask you about Coach Christie too. How would you say that he's maybe helped you develop as a pitcher this year? And can you think of an example this season when he called a certain pitch, or you guys collaborated on a pitch and it came through in a big moment?
Most recently, we've been working on the changeup a lot more. My first two outings, I was very heavily dependent on the slider, not the changeup. And until this year, all I threw was the changeup, and I kind of got away from it a little bit. Last couple bullpens, we've been focusing on the changeup, and the lefty leadoff for Illinois did not like the changeup, and I threw it 3 times in that at bat, and I threw all 3 for strikes. And it was just something like, oh man, that felt good. It's just something I've been working on, and I got to use it in the game, and it worked.
You guys find that you're usually in sync with pitch calls, or is he calling stuff that surprises you, or how does that look?
I don't really think like a pitcher on the mound. I trust whatever he calls. So whatever he calls, like, I don't think I've shook a pitch in college once. Whatever he calls, I trust, so I'll try to throw it over the plate.
Chris Bassinet.
You kind of answered this already, Jackson, but you had the long road trip last week out to Penn State, another kind of long road trip this week to East Lansing. What kind of toll does that take on you guys? I know, like you said, it's baseball and you're happy to play and those things, but does that take a toll, or does it matter at all to you guys?
I'll say something that we love to say around Nebraska baseball. Don't care. I mean, long road trip, don't care. Tired, don't care. Just show up and play. That's what we want to do every day. That's what we try to do every day.
Michael Bruns.
Hey, Jackson, what's different with you at the plate this year? I mean, did you change anything approach-wise that you're trying to do, or I guess kind of just looking at your numbers the last couple of years? I mean, what's been the biggest reason for the change for you?
I had this delusion that I was a home run hitter when I got here. I'm not going to lie, I kind of had that. And I've slowly bought into the role that I'm not. And the last 2 years especially, I was told I was a runner right when this coaching staff got here. And I bought into it, and it's paying off. I'm trying to hit the ball on the ground. I'm trying to expose defenses that can't field the ball. I'm trying to run, trying to do everything like that. And I mean, it's starting to pay off, I guess.
Was there a come to Jesus moment where they kind of sat you down and said, "Look, you're not a home run hitter," or did you just is that just kind of the way they approach things?
Well, I didn't hit good my sophomore year. I just didn't. And then when this coaching staff got here, I just had wrist surgery. And when the fall started, I couldn't swing. I had a bad wrist. I had to get another surgery to get the pins out of my wrist. And so I bunted the entire fall, like in game, with the third baseman playing in my back pocket and the first baseman playing in my back pocket. And I think I bunted 300 in that fall. And they were like, see, if you bunt, like, good stuff happens. Then you can hit ground balls. You got holes wide open. And that was kind of the come to Jesus moment. Like, I'd never bunted in my entire life. And then I did it, and it was working. I was like, might as well do it in game, mix it in. And now it's the biggest part of my offense.
All right, last one. Evan Bland.
Jaxon, I'm curious too. This is your 4th year in the program. Do you consider this your last season with Nebraska, or what factors maybe will play into that decision down the line here?
I have no idea with the draft or signing. I have no clue. I'm trying to just enjoy every ounce of baseball that I can get right now because I have no idea if I'll be playing next year. I don't know if I'll be playing pro ball or if I'll be playing here. I have no control over it, and I just want to control what I can control.
Thanks, Jaxon. All right, guys, that's it for today.
Appreciate it.
Next week.